Hari Om. Let us now continue. Towards the end of the last to last capsule, I recollected an incident in Sri Ramakrishna's life. You may remember how he held his student underwater and, of course, released him almost instantaneously and asked him how he felt, and how the student answered by saying that if only he could have a breath of fresh air and that his lungs were bursting without it. And how Sri Ramakrishna expressed to him that if he had the same urge and the same intensity to achieve moksha, to discover one's own higher self, he would have achieved it long ago. This was the incident I had recalled. Now let us continue from where we left in the last capsule. We also looked at what Swami Chinmayananda had to say about the spiritual journey, one's spiritual journey, a serious spiritual seeker's journey. He says, alone to the alone, all alone. We must travel alone in spirituality. The traveler is alone. Because it is only he or she who knows where they stand on the spiritual ladder. How much more has to be traveled? It is a silent travel. Everyone travels all alone. The destination is also alone because there is only Advaita. The travel is also alone. Alone to the alone, all alone is the spiritual path. Alone to the alone, all alone is the spiritual path. If a person is negligent in this regard, who can be a greater fool than him? Asks Shankaracharya. Kaha mudhatma asti? Kaha mudhatma asti? Asks Shankaracharya. If a person is born in a different culture and does not have a value for this teaching, it is understandable. Because he is not exposed to it. He doesn't have an opportunity for exposure. On the other hand, being born in this culture and exposed to this wonderful teaching, if I do not make use of it, if I do not make use of it, I must be a Nobel Prize winner for foolishness. Shankaracharya says in the second line, Durlabham Manusham Deham Prapya. Durlabham Manusham Deham Prapya. He has attained the rare Manushya Janma and Tatrapi Paurusham. Tatrapi Paurusham. Appreciates and values independence and inner strength. He has everything going for him. He has everything going for him. And in spite of all that, having reached such a height, if he or she is negligent, if he or she is negligent, then all we can wish him or her is better luck in the next janma. Better luck in the next janma. The game of snakes and ladders illustrates this beautifully. This is again one of Swami Paramarthananda's favorite examples. Having reached the 94th square among 100 squares, one needs to roll 6 on the dice and reach home. Veed. Home in Tamil is called Veed. It's a coming home, journey back home. You need to still roll 6 on the dice to reach home. The problem is between 94, the 94th square and home, 100. There are snakes at 95, 97, and at 99. If one is even a little careless, if one is even a little careless, says Swamiji, one can find oneself at almost the start. Swamiji says, born back as a cockroach. So, the important message that comes through in this verse is take charge. Of your life. Like Shankaracharya says in the Bhaja Govindam, Kuru avadhanam, mahat avadhanam. Kuru avadhanam means be extremely alert. Practice alertness. Practice awareness. Be aware of what is happening around you. And he emphasizes it by saying, Mahad avadhanam. Kuru avadhanam, mahad avadhanam. As Lord Krishna says in the 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. Krishna brings out 2 messages in this shloka. Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. Maya is Trigunatmika. There is Sattva, there is Rajas, there is Tamas. And they are all fluctuating. We know that Maya is always Savikara. Always. Savikaratvam is its nature. Although there is Sattva Guna present in Maya, there's no guaranteeing the fact that Sattva Guna will always remain on top. Although the effort is always to be SRT, Sattva Rajas Tamas. But there's no guarantee. Rajas can suddenly arise from nowhere because there are infinite number of karmas in action, at action. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, Rajoguna can suppress Sattva Guna. Likewise, Tamoguna can suppress even Rajoguna. The travel, like Swamiji said while teaching the fourth chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, he talks about four levels, the distribution of these gunas. He says we begin with TRS, then move to RTS, and then move to RST, and then move on to SRT. S stands for Sattvaguna, R stands for Rajoguna, and T for Tamoguna. So the travel is from Prakruta Purusha to Samskrita Purusha. In a Prakruta Purusha, Tamoguna dominates Rajas and Tamas, Rajas and Sattva. So TRS. Then as the person evolves, Rajoguna climbs up the ladder. Sattva still is at the bottom of the ladder. Person evolves to become RTS, Rajoguna Pradhana. Tamoguna in second place and Sattva Guna relegated to the third place, still at the third place. Then as the person grows, matures spiritually in his Viveka Shakti, by using his Viveka Shakti, it slowly begins. Sattva Guna starts moving up from the third position to the second position. Person becomes RST. All these transformations are guna based transformations. Then finally, when the person has flowered and matured and grown up into an adult mentally, the distribution of the gunas becomes SRT, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. But there is no guaranteeing the fact that it will remain so. So, Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. We need to quickly jump into our Gunatita Swarupa. We must use the S of the SRT as a pole to cross over the horizontal bar like a pole vaulter does and jump into our Gunatita Swarupa and remain there. But Krishna says, Mama Maya Duratyaya. He cautions. And in the second line, he says, so the first line talks about the need to be alert all the time. Watch how the distribution of the gunas is happening at every stage in life, at every moment in life, every second in life. Then in the second line, Krishna says, Mameva ye prapadyante, mayametam tarantite. Krishna emphasizes jiva prayatna over here. Mameva ye prapadyante. He who takes those steps required, he alone will reach me. He will reach me alone. Mameva ye prapadyante. It is only he who will maya metam tarantite. It is only he who can become a gunatita. Never again to fall into the clutches of Maya. So we cannot be negligent with regard to this effort that is required on our part at every stage on our spiritual journey. Therefore, Adi Shankaraj says, Kuru avadhanam, mahad avadhanam. Otherwise, it's like the game of snakes and ladders. We know the consequences. With this, we bring to an end our study of verse 5 of Vivekachudamani. We will move on to verse 6 in the upcoming capsule. Until then, Hari Om. Om Durjana Sajjano Bhuyad Sajjana Shanti Mapnuyad Shanto Muccheta Bandhebhyah Muktaschanyan Vimochayet Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.